Welcome to the OutThere Colorado Podcast. Once again, I am Spencer McKee here with Seth Foster.
Hello.
And we've got Tim Page over there on the video and audio for the show.
Tim is him. I propose a shirt. Can we make a shirt that says Tim is him?
We could add it to the store. We do have the OutThere Colorado store there, so I like it. Good idea.
You like how I drop in a little advertising?
Yeah,
Pretty
there we go.
creative
Yeah, check out
advertising.
the OutThere Colorado store on OutThereColorado.com. But yeah, no, once again, we've got a lot of interesting topics to chat about today. Been a pretty hectic week, to be honest, so kind of going to wing it a little bit here, too.
Yeah, that's what we do on the show.
Yeah,
People think
we
it's
do.
scripted, and that's just not true.
Not true at all.
I wouldn't look like such an idiot every week if it was scripted.
There is one thing we always do, though, and that is the weekend roundup of what we did this weekend.
I had a great weekend.
A great weekend. What do you do, Seth?
I went and hiked around to the Palmer Lake reservoirs there.
Nice.
Always a nice little hike in there.
Yeah, beautiful. Underrated, too.
Yeah. It's like for being between the two biggest cities, kind of, Colorado Springs and Denver, you don't expect like such an accessible, cool, mountain-feeling lake. You know what I mean? Like you always associate seeing a lake and having to work for it a little bit. But yeah, great experience just to see those emerald waters.
Oh, yeah. See anyone with a hammock?
No, but my wife was like, I wish I had a hammock.
Yeah, a couple times I've been up there, man. People with hammocks. Seems like a great place to do it.
And then we boogied back into Monument and went to my new favorite deli.
Ooh, tell us about it.
Called Black Forest Foods.
Ooh.
Which it's not in Black Forest, as people know. More east into the trees there. No, in Monument, right in the heart of Monument, Black Forest Foods. Just big sandwiches, very you could tell very much an attention to like Scratch Kitchen that very much cares about ingredients and where they're sourcing stuff, and you definitely can taste that in the sandwiches for sure.
Nice.
Got a pastrami that was just massive.
That sounds good.
Got a club sandwich as well, and we were wishing we just split one of those sandwiches, but good to bring one home. And then and the burgers apparently are super good there too. I guess I got to go back for the burgers.
Hey, 4.7 stars. You did it again with another highly rated spot.
It's really good.
Recommended by
It's
Seth.
really good. And then went and just got a quick little beer at the new-ish Goat Patch that took the old Pikes Peak Brewery spot.
Yeah.
That's cool. That was a cool spot. Good view of Mount Herman there. And then went and watched my recording of the Missouri-Kansas football game. Watched Mizzou get a victory there. Go Tigers. And then on another sports news, got my heart broke by the Bears again.
Yep.
I didn't think my heart
Tends
could
to
keep
happen.
breaking. Your heart breaks, for all your life, and it continues to do so when it comes to the Bears.
Yeah, you think you'd be
Kind of
used to
amazing.
it by now.
I know. No, I'm not.
Still not used to it.
Went to your spot, Mother Muffs, to watch that game.
Oh, when were you there?
It was the Monday night game. Monday night.
Oh, I was there on Sunday.
Were you?
Yep.
For the other games, huh?
Yeah, for the Broncos game.
Yeah. So I'm sure we'll run into each other one of these days, Spence.
One of these
and Mother
days.
Muffs. And then it was great to have my dad in town. Enjoyed time with my dad. Went to Brakeman's Burgers. Took my dad to Brakeman's Burgers. Put on a lot of weight this weekend, as you're hearing.
I'll just wait until you hear about my weekend.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Well, wait, no, Brakeman's though. Your dad liked the burger, right?
Yeah, good reviews.
I didn't realize they had a happy hour deal.
Yes. Double check me on the time of that happy hour. Gosh, was it 2 to 5, 2 to 6, something like that? Double check that, folks. But yeah, $8 burger, $6 fried pickles,
Ooh,
$2 off the draft beer, among other deals. Good happy hour.
yeah, it's looking like every weekday from 2 to 5, maybe.
Does
that
right.
sound?
Sounds
Yeah,
right. Oh.
sound right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Brakeman's,
Yeah.
great burger spot.
Mm-hmm.
Historic building too.
Yeah,
So.
right by the tracks there in the old railroad depot.
Very good spot in Colorado Springs. Yeah, so for Friday date night, we mixed it up. I had a place in mind, and I'm not going to reveal that on the slim chance that she is watching or listening to this show right
Our
now.
significant others don't listen to us.
Yeah,
They
maybe
listen
someday.
to us enough.
Yeah, maybe someday. But on the slim chance that she is listening, I'm not going to reveal my next pick.
Yeah.
But
I
basically,
respect that.
Friday rolls around, realize they're closed until I guess tomorrow is when they open back up. They had something going on. The restaurant closed for a couple weeks. So both of us realized that it's all you can eat at Olive Garden right now. All you can eat pasta.
We were talking about this on the last week.
Yeah, all you can eat pasta at Olive Garden. Not so much her thing, but she thought it'd be amusing to watch me do all you can eat.
Had she ever gone?
So she used to work at the restaurant back in the day, decade ago or so, you know. So she's very familiar with
she knows all
their
too well.
food and the menu, and her stories about how much people eat on some of the all you can eat, like going through plates and plates, like drinking Alfredo, like
are you
pretty wild?
Like literally?
Yeah, literally, yeah. So pretty wild stuff. Which they do have decent Alfredo. I like their Alfredo. Dip it in the breadsticks.
Drinkable, some say.
Dip the breadsticks in it. Yeah, apparently. And like going through, like, I think the record that we were looking up on Reddit, like just stories about the all you can eat.
Yeah, people have some
going
claims
through, like,
out there.
17 bowls of pasta and stuff, like insane.
That's got to be that's got to be a record. I mean, someone's got to have that record.
It's got to be, right? And I mean, back in my my glory days of just eating a lot of food, you know, I'd go through 5 bowls, probably 4 or 5 bowls. Yeah, it was a lot. I made it through 1.5 this time.
Yeah,
and
that's more like
I literally almost had to be rolled out of the restaurant after just that much. And I had like 2 breadsticks, and I did have 3 bowls of soup. So, but yeah, no, it was a nice little date night. I was definitely stuck on the couch for about 2 hours after that. Yeah, and then just got into a ton of yard work on Saturday. Moved a ton of rocks around. Just built a little like terrace type of thing to help with some, just to kind of like spread the water out more evenly.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was a brutal day of landscaping, both Saturday and Sunday, and then went to Mother Muff's. Grabbed that chicken sandwich I talk so much about.
Yeah.
Spicy buffalo chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
And then we went to that little ice cream place.
The old Colorado City
Yeah.
Creamery?
It was good spot. I actually was too full to get anything and too exhausted, but girlfriend and her mom both got some ice cream and they loved it. So apparently a good spot. The smells inside were just like perfect.
Nostalgic.
Like, like that vanilla custard.
I know.
Yeah, good spot. I can't personally recommend it, but based on their reviews, check it out.
Yeah.
Seemed pretty good.
Yeah, I like that place.
But yeah, so that was about my weekend. So nothing too crazy.
I don't know, man. All you can eat pasta is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was good. I was happy. I don't know if I need to. It satisfied my fill of the never-ending pasta for this round. Whenever they bring it back next year or whatever, maybe I'll be brave enough to try it again. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm reminded I got to go. It's been a lifetime.
It's a good deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into some Colorado things. I'm gonna kick us off talking about this pretty wild story. Basically, we put up a video on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok if you want to go check it out. But a mud-covered man evades police officers after basically fleeing from a hot spring. So basically what happened, there's this case involving some potential credit card fraud. Police officers looking for this person of interest in Idaho Springs, so Indian Hot Springs is the place this guy's at. Apparently in a mud bath at the time when the officers find him. They get him outside. He's literally in the video footage like he's just in a Speedo and covered in mud. The second he gets outside, pretty much, he makes a break for it. Just takes off running, I think barefoot. The police give chase. They eventually kind of, they chase him down the street. One of the cops pulls out his taser and he's like, "I'm gonna tase you, I'm gonna tase you, I'm gonna tase you." The guy won't stop. He's just running as fast as he can in his Speedo, leaving a trail of mud behind, or Speedo-like, whatever you want to describe it as.
Scantily clad.
Yes. At one point, one of the cops is like, "Got a white male on the run, covered in mud, wearing underwear."
Another day in Idaho Springs.
Yeah, right. Not a headline you see every day.
Love Idaho Springs.
And great spot. And Indian Hot Springs, also a nice little spot to check out. But anyways, he gets to this mountainside. Cop pulls his taser out. Cop trips, making that transition into dirt.
Man.
misses the taser shot, and he just goes up into the mountains, disappears, right?
No way.
And the footage is wild. Like, it's some of the wildest body cam footage I've seen in,
I guess I didn't
in
watch it all.
quite a while. They eventually found the guy hiding in a shed. He had made his way up the mountainside and allegedly had, and all this is alleged, right? So all suspects
It's pretty
innocent
strong,
until proven guilty.
Pretty strong video evidence of
Yeah,
him
yeah. We'll see.
running,
We'll see how it.
evading
Yeah,
police.
we'll see how it shakes out.
Yep.
Once this eventually does go to court, but they find him in a shed based on that video footage, and are able to take him into custody. So pretty wild situation. At one point, they're like, in the video footage, they're like, "Oh, why do you run?" And he's like, or the voice in the video, presumably from him, is like, "I got scared, bro." I mean, yeah, I don't know, but either way,
Yeah, a wacky story in the hills.
yeah, and I don't even know where the credit card fraud situation, that investigation is at right now, but apparently now he's facing charges of, I think it's something like, don't quote me on this, but like I think it's something like assault on a peace officer. Maybe I think burglary was one of them as well. So there's some charges that stem from this whole situation too. But yeah, case to follow. Go check out that footage on our social media pages, and maybe in this YouTube video here, we'll get it in there. But yeah, pretty. It's a situation, we'll say.
Quite the situation.
Yeah, everything that our law enforcement officers have to deal with on a daily basis, and
In colorful Colorado.
yeah, so respect to them for that. But
Yep.
yeah, so let's get into one of your topics that we're looking to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked quite a bit about Broadmoor brunch on here,
Yeah.
Colorado Springs. It's pricey, like it's $100 something a person.
$105 at last check.
Yeah, comes with bottomless mimosas.
Yep.
Comes with an enormous buffet of fine dining food.
Of epic proportions.
Yeah, I would be hard pressed to find a buffet that's better than the Broadmoor brunch. But yeah, tell us about it. You recently did a whole.
The headline at Gazette.com reads a flavorful tour de force.
Ooh, there we go.
And yeah, so I finally got the chance to go check this thing out, and I think it lives up to the legendary billing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to know where to start at the Broadmoor brunch.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I started with the idea of going surf and turf. So, at least on my experience, and it should be noted, menus known to change, items known to change. But at least from my experience, huge, big bed of plump crab just ready to be taken from the claw, along with just as plump shrimp. And I'm looking over at the prime rib being carved, next to the ham being carved. If I go surf and turf, got some eggs Benedict. There's a station for eggs Benedict. This was the wrong way to go. Started off way too strong. Because other people I was with continued to kind of eat as they went and did bites here and there, and I was getting pretty full. I went hard heavy. So there's the first advice on the Broadmoor brunch: pace yourself.
Pace yourself. I always go very small portions, and just keep going.
Have you gone more than once?
I've gone a couple times.
Have you? Yeah.
Kind of the special occasions. I mean, it's like I've been here for over a decade now, and it is one of those spots whenever family comes out, if they're like, oh, this is a special occasion, we need some food. So yeah, I've been a couple times.
And so you nailed it on the head. Listeners are inevitably going to say $105 for a brunch. We're talking very much, at least from my view, special experience that you won't forget.
Yeah,
if you're with loved ones, maybe you got a special occasion with your significant other or what have you. I mean, it's, in the Broadmoor, just the experience of being at the Broadmoor, being at this lake terrace dining room that's just right off the lake, overlooking these towers in Cheyenne Mountain.
They got the piano player.
The piano's playing, the mimosas are pouring, and just a vast array of food awaits. I mean, again, I can't emphasize enough. Let me look into what was going on when I was there. There was like there were gyros going on. There's sushi. There's like I said, the prime rib. There's all sorts of, there's oysters, of course. There's all sorts of casseroles. And the dessert.
That's like a whole
I mean,
like 30-foot table in
if
itself
people
or
aren't
whatever.
familiar
Ooh.
with the tradition of French
Mhm.
patisserie at the Broadmoor, I mean, this is one way to see it for sure.
Mhm.
Just like pastry done to the nines, right?
Mhm.
Colorful, glassy pastry. I mean, I still think about the. I think there was like I got a. I did a pina colada parfait.
Ooh.
There was some bread pudding. Chocolate fudge cake was killer. There was a round of key lime tart, and then another rectangular strip of strawberry hibiscus cake. I mean, but of course, the signature thing is the bananas Foster,
Mhm.
where they get the bananas Foster going for you, and they get a glass of vanilla ice cream and pour over this rum and caramel sauce and chop the bananas in it.
That's my dad's favorite.
Yeah.
I've seen him go through like 3 or 4 little in one sitting.
Yeah. There's all sorts of salads. Again, I mentioned like all these. There's the pecan sticky buns were super good.
Ew.
Next to the charcuterie, where you
Mhm.
see this honeycomb dripping honey from the Broadmoor's own bee farm, of course. Just luxury stuff like that.
Oh, dude, I always love the French toast.
Yeah,
The French toast very good because
and
they
all
got
the
that.
classics.
Oh yeah,
There's pancakes going on. There's
Mhm.
the sausage, eggs, there's
omelet
an
station.
omelet station. Man, there was this sparkling brioche bun,
Yeah. Ooh,
sugar stuffed with this lemon curd. That was
Ooh.
awesome. Yeah.
dang.
You see the bagels over by fresh salmon and smoked trout and cream cheese, and
Of course, they got the big ice sculpture too. Can't
Right.
forget about that.
where the seafood, the aforementioned
Mhm.
seafood, was hanging out next to this pot of simmering butter, of course, for your crab.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
worth it if you're gonna splurge and you're going to eat copious amounts of food.
Yep.
Broadmoor brunch is worth it.
Yep. I got a little insight into how it all comes together too. I mean, you can't help but wonder, like, how do they pull this off every Sunday, right?
Mhm.
This happens on Sunday. And yeah, I mean, kind of the process starts early in the week where they get ideas of numbers, and it's really just this team effort of figuring out how much they're gonna need to make for so many number of people every Sunday, really down to a science that this team has. And yeah, like the ham and prime rib is going overnight, of course.
Mm.
So yeah, it's
Now I want to go.
quite the
Might have
quite the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to find a reason to celebrate here soon.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's special. Again, there's gonna be people 105, who maybe they draw a line, but again, a unforgettable experience.
Yeah,
No doubt about it.
Gotta go walk
Unforgettable.
around the lake afterward.
Yeah, and just
kind
walk
of
around the Broadmoor.
walk it off.
Go to the Hall of Fame,
Mhm.
right?
They got bowling.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
if you
always
wanna-
forget about that.
Yeah, it's a nice little bowling alley.
Yeah.
Like I've been there. We did like one of our work parties there a while back.
That's right.
Like years and years ago.
I
and-
missed
and
that,
was
but yeah.
that was fun little night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super
cool
cool.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
We
here
talk about food on this show way too much.
I
man.
know, man. But hey, everyone eats.
I know.
Everyone
Gotta
eats.
eat.
So here's something that you mentioned when you were kind of spitballing some ideas for the show today.
As we do.
Talking about wolves and aspen. So
Yeah.
what do you got there?
All right, so it's aspen season. I'm always writing about aspen this time of year. I'm always looking for how am I gonna write about aspen this
Mhm.
year? Got another piece coming on tips from photographers.
Aspens, like the tree, not the
Talking
city,
about the
right?
tree.
Yeah.
Yep. Talking about the trees here. It's time for aspens. Almost time for aspen skiing, but
Yeah, and Aspen's a great place to see aspens, right?
Maroon
You got
bells.
maroon bells.
No better.
Yep.
But so I had some research catch my eye. Maybe you heard about this. There's some new research, very much suggesting drawing a link between aspen recovery in Yellowstone with the recovery of wolves in Yellowstone. And, I'm naturally thinking, hey, in Colorado, we're all talking about fall colors, and inevitably we're talking about wolves right now.
Mm-hmm.
But caught my interest.
Yeah.
Call around, see what this connection's all about.
Comes from this idea of, what is it, the trophic
Yes,
cascade,
trophic
right?
cascade.
Trophic cascade.
Referring to when a top predator returns to a landscape the food chain benefits on down.
Mm-hmm.
People may or may not be aware, the aspen tree is incredibly important to biodiversity across the Rocky Mountains. Colorado Parks and Wildlife had a previous report, very much a broad statewide report, but connecting the aspen tree with quote unquote 29 quote unquote conservation species of greatest conservation need, right? To put it in perspective of just how important the aspen tree, that overstory, is for a broader habitat.
Well, and people don't realize too that aspens are essentially like clones of each other, right? It's like it's all one, or they're all the same organism. Whenever you see these giant groves of aspen, like that's all connected, and it's wild. Like I was reading about how they can like allocate resources when like part of the grove is struggling. These other
they can
aspens,
move
one of the largest organisms on the planet.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
and that speaks to, I mean, that the importance of their regeneration, right? So aspen very much depend on fire, right? So when we're talking about the health of aspen, we're talking about fire suppression, the history of fire suppression in the West, whereby we have not allowed fire to move across these landscapes where there's aspen that needs to burn. And what happens after that? They prolifically regenerate these new, healthier, younger stands, right? Another issue that has long plagued aspen from people who very much pay attention to this stuff is what is referred to as overbrowsing, where large ungulates like elk, especially elk, munch away at these young shoots and don't give these shoots a chance to spread. Elk benefit from aspen, but there's been thinking of what's the balance, right? Especially when there's an absence of a predator that prey on elk, i.e. wolves, right? So we're kind of getting back to what this research is starting to find in Yellowstone. Again, very much all based in this northern range specifically of Yellowstone.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Yeah, so like the young aspen get eaten by the elk because the elk are
growing in what might be called
population.
unnatural numbers without a predator there.
Interesting.
People don't know in Yellowstone, wolves were pretty much exterminated 30s, 40s, and reintroduced starting in the mid-90s. So really ever since that time, there's been research out of Oregon State University that's paid attention to what aspen and among other parts of the ecosystem, how they're faring as that reintroduction has shaped over the past few decades since, all leading to a new report, and I'll just quote it directly, that's documenting the first documented recruitment of overstory aspen trees in northern Yellowstone since the 1940s, right? So in other words, they're finding pretty significant progress for aspen. The researcher there emphasizes a mixed bag, right? There are other patches not doing as well, but nonetheless, marking what's being called this milestone moment in this part of Yellowstone, where aspen trees are showing progress that they haven't seen in the decades where there weren't wolves.
That's some pretty fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
And it is worth noting too, like you kind of alluded to there, like a lot of these studies that have involved the impact of wolves in Yellowstone are often met with counter opinions and
I was going to get
controversy.
To that.
Yeah.
There is, to your point, to that phrase, trophic cascade. This research is suggesting that that's happening, right? That wolves have returned and things are benefiting. There's a lot of counterpoints about that, essentially suggesting it's just a little too oversimplified, right? There's a lot of other factors involved, just as, for example, just as wolves were returning to numbers in Yellowstone, so were grizzly bears and mountain lions. Mountain lions are very much prolific predators on elk, for example. Other factors that people point to, like hunting policies around the park. No hunting allowed in national parks, but around the park. Hunting is aimed to control ungulate numbers. So there is a lot of controversy about this research in the science community. Like I said, essentially saying it's just a little too clean. It's a little too direct, that link, right? So, but nonetheless, I mean, it's coming from people who've really been boots on the ground for decades there. Talk to the researcher there who doesn't set aside some of these other points, some of these counterpoints, some of these other factors, but very much is just putting data on the paper of what's being seen there. And that's, again, that there's a level of overstory happening from their view.
Yeah, interesting stuff. I mean, hey, the only way to figure out what's going on is to conduct research. So
the obvious question, what does it mean for Colorado? I was all told way too premature. Colorado Parks and Wildlife, I got responses from them. Also, carefully reading this research. Again, Colorado Parks and Wildlife sees other factors here. But nonetheless, I was told they're interested in about that connection between wolves and aspen. And because of what I just mentioned, that they're aware of what these species of greatest concern, what aspen means for those species. So a connection that they're apparently paying attention to, and way too early to know what, we're talking about research that's debated. You want to talk about wolves themselves in Colorado, very much debated, There's a long way to go in that reintroduction effort.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, speaking of wolves in Colorado too, kind of two quick wolf news topics this week. Colorado Parks and Wildlife has, I believe the wolf died in May, but one of the male wolves that was reintroduced.
Yeah, I saw that.
This year, Colorado Parks and Wildlife has determined that it was killed by blunt force trauma, likely from a car. So that's kind of interesting because you hear, I mean, wolves tend to shy away from roads, or at least that's what you tend to be told, So interesting that happened in that regard. Not really
a lot
much
of
else
people early on into this whole thing, before this even happened, people on one side saying that Colorado's too developed,
Yeah, and other people saying that the wolves, the roads would kind of serve as these like natural barriers. But we have seen, we've seen wolves moving across major highways, at least in terms of the mapping. Another piece of wolf news. Wolf was reportedly shot by Colorado Parks and Wildlife, as part of a Colorado Parks and Wildlife effort. It was uncollared, which is interesting, but was shot because of chronic depredation. I believe it was in Rio Blanco County, basically attacking livestock. The interesting thing here is also that they weren't able to find the wolf after they believed that they shot it. It was very dense vegetation and rugged landscape, so this wolf might have wandered off. I think they stopped hearing the wolf howls in the area, and there weren't any other incidents of this depredation, so they believe they may have killed this wolf. But yeah, interesting stuff. And uncollared, at first the thought was, or at least when this report kind of hit our desk, it's like, is it like a wolf that traveled in from Wyoming? The last report I saw was maybe that it was an uncaptured yearling pup that had been born in Colorado, that would just evaded capture and somehow survived, essentially probably by itself for this long. So, yeah, interesting stuff. If you want the full details there, I might not be totally saying it in the right way. But if you want those full details, Colorado Parks and Wildlife put out a full report about that and about all the different depredation incidences that this wolf was believed to be involved in. So you can find their press release online. But yeah, always have wolf news.
Always wolf news. But I bet maybe people didn't expect wolves in aspen trees.
Yeah. Got anything else to say about aspens while we're on the topic?
Just that I'm excited to see them turn again. Like I said, I talked to some photographers, getting some tips from places that they like to go, and careful with those places, of course. Places that are known and that see people already. But it was fun to kind of pick those brains for sure.
Well, hey, I guess
people who know it best.
On the note of aspen peeping or leaf peeping and travel for that, Guanella Pass, very popular spot.
Yeah,
they've been
talk there.
They've been enforcing the parking rules on Guanella Pass finally. And I mean, if you go down there on a crowded weekend, you see hundreds of cars, literally hundreds of cars lining the road, parked illegally just on the side of the road. And I mean, I was up there on my on this motorcycle ride recently, and it was hazardous. Like you're cruising along and you're like, hopefully someone doesn't open a door into what is now a 1-lane road with blind spots because all these cars are parked alongside of it. where hopefully a dog doesn't run out or whatever. So
Yeah.
they've been cracking down on it. They towed something like I think a dozen cars recently.
Yeah.
Which that would stink to come back up on this remote mountain pass where you can't just call an Uber and be like, oh,
Yeah.
guess my car's gone. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Been handing out tickets,
Yeah.
pretty expensive tickets if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And they've got plans to keep enforcing that. So yeah, interesting stuff.
Heads up, which gosh, I mean, it probably can't be said enough. Like if you can go on a weekday, you know, man, all the more reason in this case.
Oh, for sure.
I'll be, especially as the word gets out, man, and that enforcement happening, as I'm sure is the hope that word gets out, that enforcement happening. There's a side effect to that. Our cars going slow, stopping right in the middle of it.
That's
definitely not suggesting anything. I'm just saying it crosses my mind like, man, there's always side effects to these things, right?
And parking's pretty limited up there. Like I mean, it's famously home famously home to the Mount Beardstat trailhead.
There's a reason why all these cars are on the side of the road because parking's limited.
One of the most popular 14ers. So that main lot up there fills up every single day immediately, pretty much. So yeah, I mean that's a good good thing to be thinking about as you leave people in. And it's important it's not just an inconvenience when people park illegally on the side of these mountain roads and narrow it. It's not just like a hazard for other drivers. What it really does too is it prevents the search and rescue effort.
Emergency.
Emergency vehicles.
Egress,
Yeah, so I mean that's a big thing. Like if there's a rescue on Mount Beardstat and all of a sudden they have to figure out where can we even park our emergency vehicles. And it adds an hour to that response time. Like you could be talking about someone dying as a result. So I mean, something to keep in mind anytime you're making that decision of where you're going to park. So lots of great places to see leaves. Guanella Pass is certainly one of them, but you got options. Just saying. It's true. But yeah, so that is an interesting topic. I'll be curious to see. They just had a whole press conference about it too, so they seem very serious about continuing to enforce that. So be aware. Be aware. How about this new trail that you wrote about? Speaking of Lake Irwin.
Speaking of great places to see fall colors, Kebler Pass there in Crested Butte. People also might be aware of kind of in that same vicinity as you're approaching Kebler Pass, the Great Lake Irwin, right? Which has otherwise is always, been popularly reached by that another side dirt road that goes over there. The Crested Butte Mountain Bike Association folks are celebrating a new trail that's gotten built to there. So to get people on bikes and get people on foot an option off the road. Nice little trail, 2 miles going to Lake Irwin. Again, one of the more popular and scenic lakes that we like to go to in Colorado. Now has a dedicated trail to it.
Very cool.
People are over around that area. Another thing to maybe check out.
Yeah, beautiful spot too. Yeah, good mountain view from the lake, and about 10 miles west of Crested Butte. And as far as location goes, what I'm seeing right now. So.
And there's been a lot of effort. People may or may not know this advocacy group, this mountain biking group in Crested Butte calls itself the oldest mountain bike advocacy group in the world. Crested Butte likes to claim the birthplace of mountain biking. And as of late, a big effort for them has been trails off the road, especially if you think about like in Cement Creek there, if people are familiar. There's been more tension there to get more trails off the road. Again, just from an experience standpoint, from a safety standpoint, getting bikes off the road where there's a lot of vehicles. So Lake Irwin was a product of those ongoing efforts.
Very cool. I got a couple more news stories here that we can kind of quickly hop into. The snowboarder got rescued yesterday. You see that?
No.
Snowboarder? Up on so it's we're recording this on September 10th right now. And let me pull up this story so I make sure I get these details right.
Dang.
But basically they're up in the area like Rollins Pass, Boulder County, Grand County area. And they were on the Skyscraper Glacier, which may be more of a semi-permanent snowfield. But either way, 27-year-old snowboarder fell, sustained serious injuries after tumbling about 100 feet down this mountain, sliding down this mountain. ended up stuck in and I'm going to butcher this word, but a bergschrund, which is apparently a type of crevasse that tends to form at the head of a glacier. So basically they had a pretty extensive search and rescue effort to get this guy off the mountain. And it involved they had to hike about 300 feet across this glacier in treacherous terrain, and then hoisted him up. And then after they got him to the top of the snowfield, he was raised another 50 feet over what they described as an eroding ridgeline. So, pretty intense. Then helivac from the scene. Rescuers weren't out of the field until 1 a.m. So that involved multiple rescue organizations: Colorado Search and Rescue Association, Grand County Search and Rescue, Northern Colorado Medevac, Rocky Mountain Rescue Group, Boulder and Grand County Sheriff's offices. So pretty big response. And the photos are crazy of this too, because it's like a steep glacier, and these they're pulling them up it like they're locked in with the rope system, and pretty wild stuff.
Scary.
Another piece of news out of Boulder that I wanted to touch on: there was a bear attack.
Saw that.
Yeah, I think it was like High Street, I want to say, is where it occurred. But a dude walking his dogs, 2 dogs on leash at I think it had been around like 11 p.m. I want to say. Essentially, a mother bear, cub nearby, saw him and charged him. And I think the report said he tripped over the dog's leashes, and then the bear swiped him across the back. So he described his injuries as superficial. So there was no mention of him going to the hospital or anything like that. Maybe he did, but yeah, so, something to be aware of, because right now, as we're getting into fall, it's another word I'll butcher, hyperphagia.
Yeah, right.
Is that the hyperphagia?
They're packing on the food.
Yeah, even like up to 20,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
Bears are on the move. Bears are active. They're moving for about 20 hours a day now too, I think is about how much time they spend just looking for food. So more likely to see bears, and they're going to be bigger as they're packing on these pounds, and don't get between them and their food. And you got to make sure you are also locking up the trash. And
that's what I was going to say.
Taking the bird seed, I guess really in Colorado, it's recommended you don't have bird feeders out anytime when bears are active, but especially now, they will be going for those bird feeders. So something to be aware of.
Which speaks to that. Yeah. I mean, the big concern, right, is that bears lose their fear of people, and things like that happen, right? So how do we keep that fear in place? One way, securing that food, make sure they don't get comfortable around homes, thinking they can just be around where people live and eat the food, and secure that trash and all that good messaging.
Bears learn behaviors pretty easily. So it's one of those things where if a bear learns to eat trash, there's a good chance that, even if they relocate that bear to safer terrain, bear's going to come back. And Colorado's pretty strict about, I think it's like 2 strikes, where if a bear causes one problem, by that second problem, they put the bear down. And it's also important to note that most of the time that somebody reports a bear sighting or a problematic bear, the vast majority of those do not result in euthanization. Oftentimes they are able to successfully relocate those animals. So it is a pretty small percentage and I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but it is a pretty small percentage of those calls that actually result in a bear's death. So Colorado Parks and Wildlife always mention that, just because they don't want it to be a deterrent for people to call and report it before that situation gets worse, and that bear is more likely to do something that's worse. So. But
Speaking of animals, quick reminder on hunting season. Underway in Colorado. People who hunt most certainly know. People who don't hunt maybe don't know. Might be worth being aware. Hunters on the landscape. Those with firearms required to wear that orange and pink vest. Or might be worth mentioning. Parks and Wildlife also recommends, people casually out hiking or on their ATV or what have you. There's also a recommendation to, if you're in an area that's hunted, consider wearing bright colors yourself, right? So
I just saw a report out of Summit County this morning, actually, where some people were at Peak 1 campground. Children were playing nearby, and they're hearing a hunter shooting his gun, right? So they report it, and the hunter on Frisco Peninsula was goose hunting at the time, which is currently permitted. So maybe a little bit shocking to people when they're, hanging out with their kids and hear gunshots in the distance. But essentially, the hunter had spoken with the children, letting them know he was going to be shooting there, and he was ensuring them that he was shooting toward the water, not toward them. But yeah, something to be aware of.
Yep, that time of year. Yeah, so big game rifle season starts October 15th and pretty much runs through November.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's about all I got for today, Seth. You got anything else?
Good, man.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess until next time, I'm Spencer.
I'm Seth.
And we will see you out there.